Alrighty, y'all. So, today, it's a beautiful Florida sunny day. Mid 80s, little breeze, partly cloudy. Beautiful. But, out here getting our steps in, which they're now going to count more than ever. Because, as of day before yesterday, I signed up and registered with the NPC, Bodybuilding Federation. So that way, September 19th, I'm going to compete in True Novice and Novice Men's Physique. So, we're going to, basically yesterday started our contest prep. As of yesterday, 147 days out to competition day, 146 out from, time of prep, basically. So, as of today's video, we have 145 days to prep to get us to September 18th. Just check-ins. So, we, 2 days ago, after signing up and everything, basically had a last meal, more or less, of a cheat meal. There's going to be a couple along the way, right? But as per the weekly cheat meal, gone. So, went ahead and had a real dirty pizza, some Cinesticks, and it was delicious. Yesterday was just a cardio day. I was working on redoing my training block. And the reason for this is since I'm going to be training men's physique, legs kind of matter, right? Like overall health and structure, stability. But it's the board short class that everyone likes to make fun of. But I don't get why, because they're fucking shredded and they train hard as fuck. So it's still people just realizing, even the smallest class of bodybuilders, that they don't have the mindset and the willpower to even reach that, right? Which, these aren't small human beings compared to the average, right? They're best in the world, Ryan Terry, right? Multiple time Olympia winner, men's physique. And he's 5'10", not that tall of a dude. Above average, but his last Olympia, I believe, he weighed 202 pounds, which is actually weight cap. Pretty sure that's weight cap. Now, you think a 200-pound man, like, oh, whatever, like, it's 200 pounds. Yes, but this is 200 pounds at, sub 6% body fat. So, not a small person by any means. Comparatively to, say, a classic guy or 212 or open bodybuilding, yeah, he's going to look small. But I think it's a social media aspect of, physique inflation. Of what's actually impressive and what's not anymore. But, whole different story. We're going to do our first competition. So, got on diet yesterday and followed it to the T, what I'm trying to shoot for, of where I think I need to be starting out. As of today, still a little inflamed from the pizza and stuff. It happens because it's bread. Me and bread don't get along. But 221 3/4. So we'll call it 222. Make the math easy. I need to fall most likely somewhere around 185 pounds. That'll be pretty close to where I believe my conditioned weight's going to be. Might end up a little lighter than that. Maybe closer to the 180 mark. We'll find out. But using 185 as a guideline, it's 37 pounds that we've got to lose from now till then, which is 145 days is what I have. Now, there is no per se weight requirement for men's physique in the novice and open divisions that are not pro IFBB. You're set up by height. But obviously, you know, if you're well over what the pro weight cap would be, men's physique's probably not going to score very well for you. So, because their big thing is, you know, the big shoulders, massively wide lats, decent arms, real tapered waist, defined back with extreme conditioning, like paper thin skin, muscle fibers, vascularity, like your diet, and coming in peeled but full is the biggest key factor here, along with that V taper. So, with that, coming back into the training aspect of things, I've got currently 2 leg days in my training block. It's going to go to 1 leg day. I don't need to train legs twice a week. As per back, chest, I currently train those twice a week. That's going to stay that way. I need to keep a big full chest. I need to work on bringing my lats up even more. The training style is going to change some because the weights are going to come down. But training volume is going to be increasing. I'm going to be looking for full range of motion, complete contraction, like hard targeting, isolation into the muscle groups, versus just moving larger amounts of weights, which is what my strength block was for. That's done. It's hypertrophy time. So we'll be able to take advantage of that strength I did put on, be able to lift a little heavier, which obviously creates a little more overload and a little more tension on the muscle, which is great. And then as time goes on, you know, we'll end up a little weaker because we're going to be losing just overall mass, because weight moves weight in the grand scheme of things, and we're going to be in a deficit. So energy availability to the muscle also going to kind of deplenish a little bit. That's where meal timing kind of comes into effect, making sure you're getting your carbs in a little bit before your workout, possibility of an intra workout of some sort of carbohydrate, possibly something like Axe and Sledge Demo Day, which, man, I don't know if it's a possibility being like a complete amateur novice, but I'm going to try to figure out if I could get a sponsor. And Axe and Sledge would be pretty sick, truthfully. Seth Feroci's a fucking monster. Dude's just fucking locked in. His, what I see as his morals and work ethic are top notch. So, him, and also Mark Lobenlinger from Tiger Fitness. So, I know I'm a nobody. First time trying to do this stuff at 37. But we'll see. I'm going to go to their websites and see if there's anything to do for like a sponsored athlete application or something. So we shall see. It'd be awesome work for one of those two guys. Then, since we're getting rid of a leg day, we're going to add in a specific shoulder and arm day as its replacement. So I normally do a 3 on 1 off routine. We're going to continue to do that, but it's going to probably look something like back day, then chest day, then we'll have a leg day. Leg day stuff's probably going to be all machine work. So no more squats, things like that. I'll have a leg press in there probably, but for sure, leg extension, leg curl, hip abductor, adductor. Got to keep those things healthy. Have a glute kickback in there. Probably hip thrust will stay in there. And that'll take care of it. Calves, we'll hit a probably standing barbell calf raise. Truthfully, it seems to feel the most effective out of all of them. Seated calf raises, I like them, but it does kind of irritate the ankle and the Achilles. Standing don't seem to do so. So, how you doing? And then with that, that'll just kind of take care of the leg training, you know. We're hitting all of the muscles there and keeping it to the point, isolated, with low risk of injury. Because the last thing I want to do is injure myself. I've done that before. I was prepping to do a bodybuilding show like 10, 11 years ago. Yeah, about 10 years ago. I was 3 years into working out and a year and a half basically into prep to get ready to do my first show. And then basically 3 weeks out, I shattered my left arm. And that went out the window, and then didn't lift for 8-ish years. So that is what we want to avoid now. With that, we're going to train a little bit smarter. All of the ego lifting portion out of this, it's basically got to go away. So I'm not going to say there's not going to be heavy days or specifically a heavy set here and there, but in the grand scheme of things, you're not going to be per se pushing it on the weight levels. We're going to be training at reasonable weights and really never below 10 reps. So if we can't hit 10, I'm gonna call it too heavy. If we get over 15, I'm gonna call it too light. And then we're going to dial the weights in like that. Each day we go and train, we're going to go ahead and not really have a specific weight that we're going to shoot for, since every day kind of changes. Weight's going to be changing, things like that. So I'm not going to write down a weight of, hey, this is your top set weight. It's going to fluctuate too much. So it's going to be whatever feels heavy that day within that rep range. Minimum 3 sets per movement. Might be 4 or 5 if I'm feeling it. You know, some days you're not really feeling a movement. Other days you're locked into that thing. And it just, you can feel that muscle working. And there's no reason to stop hitting it if you're feeling it. So, it's the switch in approach training ideology I'm going to take here for the next 145 days. So, Then, had my clinic appointment again for follow-up blood work. Was talking with the clinic doctor. He also, big gym rat, crazy power lifter. Dude is insanely strong, like 2,000 pound big three strong. So he used to be a pro baseball player, became a doctor, now he's into powerlifting. So when I initially went to him 4 months ago, I was like, hey, this might be a possibility later on, but as of right now, I'm just looking to not feel like shit. My free test, or my total test, I mean, is at 186 nanograms per deciliter. And that's why I was feeling like shit all the time. But put me on 160 megs a week. So 2 injections, 0.4 mLs. And no side effects. My low side testosterone now, the trough, is sitting at 850. We just did that blood work. That's why we know that. And 3 months ago, we kind of took a high side test. Where was I at 36 hours after injection? And we were at 1150. So my level stays pretty consistent. Basically averaging 975. That's great. It's awesome for health. But we're going to push up a little bit from there. Still not into anything crazy dosing wise. We're going to go to 200 milligrams a week. Just going to be completely transparent about this stuff as we go through this. What I'm doing, what works for me, the fact I go to a clinic, my blood work's getting done, and how I'm going to go through my prep. That is my goal. I have no experience at this really. As of right now, I have no coach. I probably won't have a coach. They're expensive and on disability. Doesn't work out. But with that, we're also going to go on to sermorelin. It's a human growth hormone secretagogue. So what it does is basically you inject at nighttime before bed reasonably. Normally an hour or so after a minimum of an hour or so after you've eaten your last meal, if not a little further. But what it does is it signals your pituitary, I believe it's pituitary, might be thyroid, but either one, I'm not a doctor, but it signals the gland to produce more human growth hormone. Your body already produces it on the daily. So all this is doing is telling it, hey, release a little more. So I'm not injecting growth. We're just injecting a peptide that tells the body, hey, you can release more of this and we can use it. So with that, it works a lot slower than other things, but a lot healthier than other things. And by doing this, it's going to allow us to retain the muscle that we have built at a higher rate. Initially, for the first month or two here, we might actually gain a little more muscle tissue, which would be great. But it's going to help us burn more fat in the long run. So that's the big goal here, right? So, but with that, guys, I'm coming up on someone leaf blowing their yard. I've already been talking away like crazy. So we're going to go ahead and end this video off right here. If you guys made it this far, please hit that like, subscribe, follow. Let's try to get this YouTube channel growing. That's going to be a big part of this. I think I'm going to do a daily update video, kind of take a note from Sam Solik here. But with that, make sure you're out there working towards your goals, getting your stuff done. Most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.